We just gonna get right motherfucking to it. The microphone over here to my side. And first time y'all seeing me all the way without them seeing the mic in front of my face. Y'all can hear me. So that's all I need to know. Y'all can hear a nigga. Y'all, I got this selling ass fan in the back. But a nigga need to be warm. Excuse me, a nigga need to be cool. It's hot outside. So we gonna get right to it. And trust me when I motherfucking tell you that we ain't playing no more motherfucking games out here with y'all. When it comes to this music. I know one motherfucking thing. New single, nigga, Bucket Head Low. By your boy. That's how we gonna do that. That's how we gonna start it for the 9-9, nigga.
These hands bring Midas touch flows when I write. House browser so the real to know what we like. Shaped up, clean my jewelry glow looking right. Smoke a J up in the spot, yeah, you know I might. I could do this for hours, need my money long. Can't show me how to live right if you done it wrong. I need to make sure it's that pressure when I'm coming on. I don't need to go to sleep yet, I got another song. It's values and ownership, gotta know your worth. Positive people never show if they so hurt. Clean the money up, but trust that I know that dirt. On God's playing with a pinch and let me go to work. Got records on records, used to sip the Guinness. Blend in with the cool and blending with the hitters. Since selling 5 days, 10 with my niggas. No days off when you small and trying to be the biggest. Bucket head low like fuck it though, fuck it though. Bucket head low like fuck it though, fuck it though. Bucket head low like fuck it though, fuck it though, fuck it though, fuck it though, fuck it though. Bucket head low like fuck it though, fuck it though. Bucket head low like fuck it though, fuck it though. Bucket head low like fuck it though, fuck it though, fuck it though, fuck it though, fuck it though. I remember selling weed from up in the sock. Now the pips move candles bleeding in the stock. Spending ops on blocks, making it hot. Need to stop. Time is money out here. Y'all don't see the clock. Spend a little, save a little. Make sure you invest. I can't even lie. The past 10 been stressed. Used to move away for fam like he bench press. Sleep is the cousin of death. It's hard to get rest. It's a rap out here want it better than me. Good rapping, same struggle. The saddest to see. Thankful the Lord made it where I happen to be. I paid dues, nigga. This ain't happen for free. It's like a buffet for me. I got a big plate. At the end of the day, make sure your kid's straight. Solid, so I ain't gotta wait on a big break. Always love, but this game come with big hate. Bucket head low like fuck it though, fuck it though. Bucket head low.
That was your boy. I mean, your host with the most. I am chill motherfucking Murray. Live from the Spot Podcast. We back. We back. We here. I ain't gonna lie, my teeth look about better on camera than a nigga got a haircut and shit. Welcome everybody. First time, last time listeners. You already know what time it is. Live from the Spot Podcast. Episode motherfucking 20. I gotta get used to the mic being like this. I kind of want, because I ain't want to be doing that no more. I ain't want to be holding this shit. I gotta get my other camera back. I gotta get my other mic back that I was using before to where I didn't have to, you know what I'm saying, hold the shit at all. I had a mic that was like underneath the table and whatever and was just holding itself up so I could just talk through that. And last podcast I was on Kick and I was holding the shit. And I don't really like holding the fucking microphone. That shit look crazy as it is. I don't really like doing all that holding shit. It's just unprofessional. But I really wanted to just say fuck it. I'm like, y'all can hear me anyway. If not, I could turn the shit up. Just like that. I could turn the shit up. But it is what it is. So I'm going to talk closer and closer I can to the microphone if I need to or whatever. It's some shit we're going to get to today because it's a lot, and I mean a lot of shit that we want to get to. But, I mean, my thing is, I could have did 2 episodes with the shit we got to talk about today. I know that much. I got a couple of things we got to talk about. But I guess we'll get into the serious shit first. It's serious, but it's not so serious. You know what I'm saying? On some Joker shit. It's not so serious. But really what I wanted to first get into was really the AI shit going on right now. And not even the AI. Let me not even introduce it like that. So that's just my opinion, actually. Um, what's going on right now? If y'all haven't noticed, a lot of artists are selling their catalog for a large amount of paper. I mean, a very large amount of paper. Um, Nelly just sold his portion of his catalog for $50 million. 50 mil. You feel me? $50 million. Let me get into that article. This comes from the Rolling Stone. Nelly gets $50 million for 50% share of the music catalog. The deal includes hits like Hot and Her and Ride With Me. Let me get all these damn ads shit out there. My lord, Rolling Stone. I wonder why niggas don't be looking at publications like that. Oh, this extra shit. But anyway, yeah. Nelly has sold a portion of his catalog. And now you've heard about Dr. Dre selling their catalog. You've heard about Logic recently sold his catalog for six-figure deals. Who else? It's a few other people that recently sold their catalog. Let me just look at it real quick. We're gonna do some shit on the fly. Because it's a point I'm getting at right now. So we just gonna get up this whole list right here real quick of people that sold their catalog recently. And this is a website called A Journal of musicalthings.com. Basically, it's a gentleman that's actually putting the prize list together of all the artists that have sold their catalog or their catalog has just been bought recently as of 2022. Number one being Bob Dylan, 100% of his publishing catalog to Universal Music Group. Let's just say Warner Music Group. We're going to get into why I'm saying Warner Music Group in a second. You got Neil Young sold 50% of his catalog to Hypnosis, estimated $150 million. Stevie Nicks, $100 million. Imagine Dragons, $100 million. Whitney Houston, her entire catalog went to Primary Wave. The price was undisclosed. David Crosby, Disturbed. The Killers, all their prices are undisclosed, along with Lindsey Buckingham, Barry Manilow, Richie Sambora, Dave Stewart, Blondie. Let's go down the list now. This is a very long list, but I'm just gonna name some notable ones for you guys real quick. Shakira, Ed Roland, Silverchair, Beach Boys. Let's go with the OJs. Like it's a lot of catalog being bought recently. Future, I had noticed Future's catalog was bought recently. That one surprised me. Iggy Azalea, Justin Bieber, $200 million. He sold his catalog. Dr. Dre, I mentioned earlier, $200 million. And like I said, the list goes on. Timbaland, for an undisclosed amount, he sold his recently. And then the biggest one recently was Logic, selling, like I said, for a major amount. But I started to wonder why all these people were selling their catalog so much, for so much money. And who the fuck was buying up all this shit? Like, who was really spending all this money? And I noticed the partner that bought Logic's masters in publishing was a very familiar name that I started seeing a lot around in all the articles, and their name is Influence Media Partners. Influence Media Partners has been working with Warner Music Group lately to buy up masters and catalog. So just a couple of press items that they have on their website, for instance, right? At the very bottom, you scroll down there, press items read, superstar producer Taney sells catalog to Influence Media in $25 million deal exclusive. That comes from the publication Variety. Billboard, Influence Media partners with Warner Music Group and BlackRock for right acquisitions management. So there's a three-headed dragon right now running around buying up catalog. Warner Music Group and BlackRock, get this, invest $750 million in Influence Media. Here's another one, right? This is what really caught my eye. I'm going to reread that again, and I'm going to read the whole sentence now just so y'all get this. And a lot of y'all, a light bulb going to go off in y'all head when I read this. Warner Music Group and BlackRock invest $750 million in Influence Media, comma, female-led music rights firm. So, if y'all wondered why y'all seeing a lot of female artists uprise right now, I hope that light bulb just went off in your head. BlackRock Warner Music invests $750 million in female and diverse artists. That came from Wall Street Journal. Influence Media buys stake in Julia Michaels' song catalog. Star songwriter Ali Tamposi sells catalog to new female-focused music fund. Influence Media Partners launches a $100 million fund to invest in catalogs of, get this, female music creators. So once again, if you're wondering why you're seeing a lot of female artists come out, it's because there's hundreds of millions of dollars invested in them to be released right now. There's a huge agenda pushed on female artists being released right in front of us. And like I said, I wondered why that was. I remember before when Beyonce Run the World dropped, right? And then I remember seeing the video of Jay-Z Legacy, right? Not Legacy, excuse me. Family Feud, Family Feud. At the end of Family Feud, there's a table full of female leaders. And at the end, it's a prediction of Blue Ivy being the president or leader of the world at the time. So a lot of things started pointing towards the industry knowing and pushing the agenda of females are running things right now. Like I said, I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing, but just know that there is an invested agenda behind this right now. Another thing that caught me by surprise, let me go further down real quick, was when I clicked on Hyperbot, right? I wanted to click on Hypebot because I was like, something tells me that this is a little bit AI related, right? I'm going to read this article here from Hypebot. Warner Music Group, Providence Equity have $650 million to acquire music catalogs. Warner Music Group and Providence Equity Partners are partnering to invest in recorded music and music publishing catalogs with the new joint venture Tempo Music Investments. Tempo was launched with $650 million in equity and debt capacity. Excuse me. With most of the equity coming from Providence, an investment firm specializing in the media, communications, education, and information industries. Warner Music Group will handle administration for music publishing and distribution for recorded music. Tempo will enlist Influence Media Partners, a new management company, to explore investment opportunities and drive catalog performance. Tempo's first acquisitions include select copyrights of Grammy Award-winning songwriters Jeff Basker, Shane McAnally, and Ben Rector. Now, real quick, I'm going to look up something real quick. Excuse me if I'm hitting the mic. I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to look up something real quick. In pertaining to this, of course, I want to look up Tempo real quick. Let's go to Tempo Music real quick, right? It's a reason, like I said, we're doing this. So, investing in content that transcends time is the main thing that you see on there, right? So another, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. Since we live. Since we live. All right, so y'all can look with me real quick at a couple things. So this is the big group that's being funded, right? Now, the reason why I'm looking at this is because this is one of those things where it's like, okay, why wasn't Tempo announced like that? If y'all are funding Tempo, why haven't y'all did a huge, how you say, promotional launch of Tempo? And I think it's because they're going to use Tempo later on to fund these other what they're doing with the catalog. Basically, what they're doing with the catalog is whatever Tempo Music is. I'm thinking now, if we're talking about, say, for example, house music, right? That's what I thought about originally, was that if we're talking about, let's say, house music samples and things like that, a lot of these records have to be thrown through, you know what I mean, the publishing and the copyright ownership and things like that, right? However, this little interesting summary right here tells me a lot more. Tempo is an investment platform for premium music rights. Tempo exists to support, invest in, and build value around the creative ecosystem. We are passionate about music and investing. Our investment decisions are driven by a disciplined approach, informed by both art and science. That right there confirmed my original assumptions of why these catalogs are being bought up. That focuses on delivering compelling financial results while empowering the creative class. We are an affiliate of Providence Equity Partners, a diverse asset manager with over $49 billion in aggregate capital commitments. So there are some huge investors behind them besides Warner Music Group. Warner Music Group only gave them $750 million. But you see their bigwig partner has what? $49 billion in capital commitments. Okay? So there are some bigwigs playing right now with these catalogs and trying to figure out what's going to be done with them. But as you just read with the art and science part, I think AI is going to play a heavy part in things. I.e. Timbaland selling his catalog and recently saying, hey, do y'all understand the opportunities that are coming about with us having to do that? With us selling our catalog, and not even selling our catalog, with us being able to work with artists that are no longer living and things like that. And who did I name up there? Beach Boys, Whitney Houston, among a few that are passed away, that can be worked with now through AI if you own the rights to things. Because we don't need to review the rest of this particular article, right? We don't need to review the rest of that in particular. But, I mean, y'all get the gist of what I'm saying here. It's evident that these labels are buying up a lot of catalog, and it's clear that they're going to do something of technology based with it. There's no reason why Logic would even say in the hit. You know what? Let's also get into that real quick, because Logic said something that was very interesting. Also, when I noticed he had sold his catalog, I want to go to Complex. I was looking at. Oh yeah, making music has always been a creative outlet and a form of therapy for me. I've been humbled by how deeply it has connected with people around the world. Among the 185, excuse me, Logic said, adding that he was excited to partner with Influence on the deal. So among those songs, he also had 1-800, that 1-800 suicide record. That's among the catalog. That's among the songs that he sold. They said Logic is a change maker with an independent mindset and entrepreneurial spirit. This comes from Renee McLean at Influence Media Partners. He's proven himself to be a multifaceted artist who never confines himself to one box. Influence Media made headlines for a similar deal for Future's publishing catalog. Per press release at the time included 612 tracks that dated all the way back to '04. So, Logic has been working with these people from behind the scenes. And we all know Logic is a tech geek. That's really what I'm getting at here. I don't think a lot of people realize that particular part of it because they don't know about Logic. But if you know about Logic, Logic has also come forth and talked about the metaverse. A lot of the big wigs that sold their catalog, Justin Bieber, Dr. Dre, were also heavily in the publications talking about the metaverse and cryptocurrency and their investments in that. So it's no wonder that they're invested in the new wave of technology and things like that, as far as how AI is working. Logic has never been a quote-unquote popular mainstream rap artist among the hip-hop community. I'm a fan of Logic. Let me be on record saying that. But he's never been the quote-unquote popular rapper within the community. If anything, he's been shunned, if you will, because of his appearance. But that, like I said, further tells me that once again, there is an agenda behind technology, and we will see what it actually is. We will see what that is in the coming future. But moving right along, and I didn't realize the microphone was way the fuck over there till now. And I keep hitting this bitch, and I apologize to y'all. Moving right along. Janelle Monáe pulls a Janet Jackson, and Megan Thee Stallion been twerking at the Essence Fest. So, real quick, Janelle Monáe, right? Now, let me just say this, right? Janelle Monáe is a phenomenal artist. Legendary artist in her own regard. Very legendary artist, to me, in my opinion. Very free thinking, very free spirited individual. That, in my opinion, I've noticed this year, especially with her album being called The Year of Pleasure, she's become more free, if you will. She's become even more free in loving in her own skin. How we know that is because she literally flashed her titty at the Essence Fest. As you can see here, I'm going to move myself over, if I can. Move myself over real quick. But yeah, there's Miss Janelle Monáe flashing her boob at the Essence Fest. Now, I tried to find footage of this, but the footage I did find was the Jumbotron footage. And I believe they cut it as she was doing it. Either that or I just missed it because I skimmed through majority of that 40-minute footage. Even when the lady said at the caption, I didn't expect her to do that. So I was expecting to see the titty pop out, but it was only Jumbotron footage. So I don't know if the Jumbotron caught it or not. But anyway, Janelle Monáe, like I said, flashed her titty out at Essence Fest. And the crazy thing is, in the same breath, India Arie made comments about Megan Thee Stallion bringing out twerkers. Now, let's be honest here, right? And someone brought this to my attention also. Here's my light. Someone brought this to my attention also recently. That Essence Fest was held in New Orleans. Right? If we talk about New Orleans, the first thing I think of when I hear New Orleans is, girl, you're working with some ass here. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, work in the man here. Yeah, yeah. That's the first thing I think of when I hear New Orleans. You're good, won't you back that ass up? That's what I think of when I think of New Orleans sometimes. So now I get it. Why they're with Megan Thee Stallion headlining and twerkers. It's New Orleans. That's their flow. That's just their thing. You can't knock them for that. That's just their thing. So I have to retract my statement originally. Because I was saying to myself, now, Megan Thee Stallion should know better as far as having twerkers at the Essence Fest and whatnot, right? But, in my opinion, maybe it was more necessary than we thought. It was a lot more necessary than we thought. Because when I really watched it, I said to myself, you know, she didn't really do much. That's another thing. I could see if it was all that throughout the entire performance. But for the most part, it wasn't. So, as y'all can see, yes, she's in regular Megan Thee Stallion attire and things like that, right? But this is ratchet classic. Or classy ratchet. I like how that sounds better. Classy ratchet. Although I will never agree with the lyrics like that. Great entertainer for what she does. Or for what her content is. And this is probably what made India Arie say, hey, wait a minute. This is Essence Fest. I get that. Considering the song, I get that. I get that. Got left cheek, right cheek moving. I get it. But yeah, like I said, You get what I'm saying? It was it was classy ratchet. It wasn't nothing crazy. When India Ari first said it, I thought she went out there completely half naked, and I thought them twerkers was half naked, looking even more ratchet. But it was very classy ratchet. It's the Essence Fest, so I'm not gonna be against it as I was originally when I first heard it. Because I was saying to myself, okay, there's a time and place for everything. You don't need to be twerking and shaking your ass every goddamn where you go. I was originally one of them old heads saying that. But considering what I seen, it wasn't all that bad. I would have appreciated it. She, like I said, she did keep it classy ratchet. Or ratchet classy, whichever one you want to say. But ratchet classy in its own regard. In India Ari, if you're going to say something about one, you should say something about the other. If you're going to say something about Megan Thee Stallion twerking, you should say something about Janelle Monáe pulling a Janet Jackson on purpose and pulling her titty out. She pulled her titty out on purpose. Forget the twerking. If we're going to be concerned with babies and kids being there, I'm pretty sure there were parents that were concerned that their child saw a titty more than they saw some ass shaking, because they saw you shaking your ass in the mirror plenty times before. I rest my case on the Essence Fest. Moving along. Oh yeah, speaking of half nakedness, Miss Keke Palmer. Miss motherfucking Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer was getting bashed by her boyfriend, right? For apparently being half naked with a dress. But let's be honest here, right? Ain't nothing really wrong with this dress. Ain't nothing really wrong with this dress. I'm not sure what he griping over. What is he griping over? This ain't nothing to gripe over. Move myself to the side again. Not y'all to the side. Move myself to the side real quick. Move myself real quick. So, as y'all can see, Keke, now you can see her ass out right there, but what really got him, I don't think y'all realize, he ain't mad about the dress. He wasn't mad about the dress, and this is why I pulled this picture up. He mad because Usher had his arms around his woman in that dress. That's why he said something. And look at this light-skinned nigga here. Light-skinned activity. Waffle brown activity. Beige nigga activity. You should cover up, you're a mom. Shut the fuck up. Because at the end of the day, you are in a relationship with a baddie, my brother. You should be appreciative of the fact that she just had the mother of your child. She just had the birth of your child. She is the mother of your child and looks that damn fine right after pregnancy. You should be appreciative of that instead of hating on what she is wearing. You should be appreciative of the fact that she don't look sloppy in what she wearing. Women are fed up and eating you alive because you are hating, my brother. You are pure hating on your own relationship, on your own woman in your relationship. I can't even say wife. You hating on your own girlfriend. You hating on the mother of your child for just having a good time that night. You need to recollect yourself and look in the mirror, brother. Because she gonna do that more times than you think. That's what you ain't realize. She gonna do that way more times than you think. When she go out, when your ass got something to do, that's another thing. If you ain't got nothing to do, and you ain't got nothing better to do with your time. See, this is my thing, right? Just because women ain't looking at your ass like that, and you lucky to even have women like Kiki look at you. You know what I mean? Just because women ain't chasing you around, don't mean to give you the right to talk shit about your baby mama publicly. Now, I'm playing devil's advocate on this one a little bit. Understand from a man's perspective, understand what the man was trying to say. Look, my wife shouldn't be out here half naked. She just had my child. I don't want her doing that. I don't want her being hugged up with Usher. I don't want her doing none of that shit. I don't want her doing none of that hot girl summer shit. I don't want her doing none of that. I get it, my brother. I get that. You don't want her doing none of that. I understand. Trust me, I do. However, looking at the dress, it was nothing to be outraged about. It really wasn't. If you really look, it's nothing to be outraged about whatsoever. She went home and took more selfies of that bitch. Just to make him madder. Like, oh, you don't like this dress? I'm going to take more pictures in this shit. And she was mad. She even said in her interview, like, look, I ain't worried about what he's saying. I wish I could have took more pictures. I wish the paparazzi took more pictures of me, damn it. Because I look damn good. I know that's right, Kiki. I know that's right. And see, that was another thing. Everybody was talking about that way before she got pregnant. Like, oh, how's she going to look after she pregnant? How's she going to look after she had the baby? And look at now. Look at her. So damn marvelous. Her own damn boyfriend mad. But like I said, he ain't mad about that dress. He mad because Usher holding her in that dress. He mad that she went out. And Usher said, ooh. See, look at Usher in that. Made Usher hit a higher note in Vegas. Made that man hit a higher note than he ever hit. Looking at that back there. Look at that. Look, you see it? Look at Usher's face right now. That man almost did a cover of Johnny Gill with that look. My. Oh, man. But, yeah. Shout out to Keke Palmer and her boyfriend. Like I said, I understand from the man perspective. Understand where you coming from. But shut the fuck up at that point. When it comes to that, shut the fuck up. It's crazy. I said I had a lot to talk about today. At least my list looked like that way. We halfway through this motherfucker already. I didn't even realize. So, speaking of petty pendergrass and pettiness, we gonna get into Mr. Petty Pendergrass himself, Mr. Pink Nails. I ain't gonna say nothing about his pink nails. Shout out to Drake. You do your thing, brother. I ain't hating. I ain't saying about that. But I ain't gonna do it. But at the same time, Petty Pendergrass is back at it again, y'all. Back at it again. So apparently, Childish Gambino recently in the article said that, well, in an interview, I should say, that the song "This Is America" was originally a Drake diss. Why he chose to say that out loud publicly, I started to say is unbeknownst to me. But then I realized Childish Gambino has been throwing Drake shots since the beginning of his career. Childish Gambino has been throwing Drake shots along with Wale, along with Kendrick, along with Cole. All of you niggas, Big Sean, all of you niggas have been throwing Drake shots since the beginning of y'all motherfucking career. And Childish Gambino, in Childish Gambino form, took the time out to say he wanted to do that. So let's look at Childish Gambino real quick. Without Childish Gambino, let's look at what the homie did. Live from the spot.
Here's another
I know
update
y'all
of
hear
Stays.
it, but
Make sure you like, comment.
I can't. Ain't y'all let me show my video now? Yeah, what y'all doing now? Okay. All right. 1 second, y'all. That's why. So I'm sitting there saying to myself, wait a minute. It's the reason I couldn't show y'all. All right. Where were we? So much so So, as y'all see,
Here's another update with Stays.
Mr. Petty Pendergrass
Comment, subscribe, and ring the bell for all new content.
felt the need to put overrated and
It's
over
like,
awarded.
as like a funny way of like doing it, but then I was like, this shit sounds kind of hard though, you know. So I was like, let me play with it. So we just had that for a long time.
Very well to get put together video of Petty Pendergrass here. Shout out to my wife that just walked by. Love my baby. As you can see, Drake puts. Let me pause this real quick, right? As y'all can see, Drake decides to put the overrated and over awarded hit song "This Is America" was originally a Drake diss. As you can see, he puts that around as like it's a score ticker for the stage. Petty Pendergrass strikes again. I tell you. That boy there, don't question that boy's pettiness.
Here's another update with Stays. Make sure you
And this is in case y'all didn't hear where the interview came from.
Put it as a Drake diss, to be honest. It's like I was like as like a funny way of like doing it, but then I was like, this shit sounds kind of hard though, you know. So I was like, let me play with it. So we just had that for a long time.
So, as I said, these two have been going at it for quite some time. It's been like that between them two. And I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you, right? Because in my opinion, when I see shit like that, and I'm Childish Gambino, and I could rap and sing, don't wake up a dragon like me, Drake. Now, mind you, Childish has kept it very cordial. Very cordial. For business purposes. This might have been a chess move on Childish Gambino's part to even say that in an interview. To bait the boy out. Because he want that smoke. So, with that being said, while we dealing with Pusha T and Jim Jones, which we going to get into next. Speaking of which, while they're going at it, I think Childish is trying to bait the boy out. But my thing is, you don't bait that boy out while he in album mode. You don't bait that boy out while he in album mode. That man just announced for all my dogs. He just announced that. I don't think that's a good move on Childish part to be waking up Drake while he's in album and tour mode. Now, granted, that might be the biggest of the chess moves. Yeah, I'm in album mode. That's a good observation. Because I've never seen Drake in album mode while he just literally started a tour. He announced For All My Dogs coming out, but he literally just started the tour for the summer. So this could be a very smart move on Childish's part, because Childish can easily throw a very big haymaker out. He can throw a huge haymaker out, and Drake will be very disarmed and vulnerable to not be able to do anything right now. We've seen Drake in war pre-parent. We have not seen Drake in war after being a parent. So we've already heard him say, "Hey, I had to watch my words with that three-peat leaked." The three-peat rumored record that was supposed to be the retaliation to Push. Said he had to watch his words, and Jay Prince had to step in and said, hey, can't be saying all that. Chill out. Let's go start some things we don't need to be starting right now. Let's get back to this money. Which I meant to mention to y'all earlier. If y'all haven't noticed, Drake has really been chilling because they paid Drake that $400 million to keep music, hip-hop music specifically, alive. If you noticed, at the top of the chart still will always be Drake as far as the hip-hop goes, right? Quote, unquote, so to speak, in mainstream eyes, right? To the masses, if you will. That's why Drake is dropping an album right now. That's why Drake is dropping a rap album, promoting it. They missed the old Drake, so we're gonna hear the comeback season, Room for Improvement, Thank Me Later, Take Care Drake. We're going to hear the rap Drake, right? Reason why we're going to get the rap hip hop Drake, not only because we got Honestly Nevermind, which was mainly a dance album, but because, like I said, that $400 million was mainly to keep music and hip-hop music specifically alive in mainstream likeness, right? Drake is a very oversaturated artist and overplayed in most people's eyes, to the point he even had to say in concert on the show, I know people say I make a lot of music and I drop too much, but I'm not one of those guys that go away for 3 to 4 or 5 years. I need to always be out here. I commend that type of artistry and work ethic. The only thing is, the labels, like I said, are heavily invested in him doing so. They are reliant on Drake right now. Heavily reliant on Drake continuing to be out here. Drake disappears for even a year. Look at this. Drake ain't dropping a couple of months and we're already announcing the fact that hip-hop hasn't had a #1 album. The only #1 album that released recently was Lil Uzi Vert, ironically. That should and then I told y'all in the last podcast, that was going to be very telling to me, that little fucking Uzi Vert, of all people, with an album full of sounds, is going to be the #1 album for hip-hop. That is very telling to where hip-hop direction is going. People are paying less fucking attention to even the lyrics in hip-hop, to the point where an album can sell 200,000 based upon a nigga going the whole way through the fucking album. That's very telling to me. But I digress. Not to get too far off topic, Like I said, I want to see what Childish Gambino even does as far as a retaliation to Drake, because I know if there are fans of Childish Gambino that know what Childish is capable of doing, then you have to understand that Childish can easily play chess in this. Childish can easily sting Drake where Drake will not expect to be stung from. Because Childish has those same behind the scenes connects as Drake, whether people know it or not. So if y'all ain't heard by now, Pusha and Jim Jones have now started to diss each other. Now, this all arrived coming from Jim Jones recently on the phone saying that Pusha didn't deserve to be in the top 50 rappers. Now, that, of course, was also because Jim was not mentioned in that top 50. Now, Push definitely deserves to be shouted out in that top 50. Without a shadow of a fucking doubt. He needs to be shouted out in that top 50. Right? That's done said. Jim had a problem with that, and this was the response. Now, what was fly about it, and I didn't post the footage of it in fear of course, either YouTube or Louis and Pharrell this was actually at the Louis Vuitton Pharrell fashion show that he put together. Right? Pharrell was just recently announced head of Louis Vuitton. So Pharrell debuts this record. Rightfully so. That's his man's. I get it. That's your man's. Supposed to rep like that. Hard, flashy, fly ass way to present a diss record. Never been done before like that. We're just gonna subtly play this diss record in the background, let the media just do what it will. You know. We ain't talking about nobody, but we gonna let it be known we talking about somebody. You heard Pharrell on the back of that. This is an interesting one. For the simple fact, like I said, it's two rappers. Like, people don't admit. Excuse me. People don't want to admit that Jim can go. And if you don't think Jim can just go, like, I'm talking about like fast response in 2 days, go. Just get up and say, word, I heard what you said. I heard you, my nigga. I heard you.
Shit, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, I'm kinda disappointed, nigga. But listen here, before you drop that, well, before you drop this shit, let me give you some inspiration, cause you lacking, homie. That shit was trash, we gon' let them get a do-over. They got you gas, you must think that you the new Hover. You a 4.0, nigga, I jumped in a new Rover. Your brother still jumping in bed and you tell him move over. These two roach niggas don't know what to do on no raid. Kanye gave you whips, but that's what they do to the slaves. You trying to act bad, but we ain't doing charades. I really have bombs on the block just like I threw a grenade. What you need? Don't got no time to be concerned with no watch you got. You never been uptown, by now work up by the poppy spot. Trying to get illusions when you run up in the Aki spot. By 5,000 bottles, you turn around and get a choppy chop. I spent 500,000 down in Mazda spot. I got a $500,000 car with the bras on top. And fuck their flowers, we got roses with the stars on top. I make a toast with my jewels like a mazel tov. My name is my name, but they ain't screaming yet. They talking about the rapper Kane, but we ain't seen it yet. We got the switches on that bitches, your whole team get wet. But let me chill, cause I don't wanna get my team upset. The only beef you know, nigga, is Arby's or the Big Mac. We don't drive through, we drive by in the car with a Big Mac. That last shit you dropped, that shit was garbage, take that shit back. Plus you got your brother rapping, what you trying to bring the clips back? Talking about your brother, what happened to that boy? It's looking like it, they been selling crack to that boy. It's really though, enough of the jokes, is how niggas get embarrassed. Really got some money, I catch you niggas out in Paris. I got shooters like Luca that hit you niggas out in Dallas. Y'all be dressing kinda weird, man, you really need a stylist. Plus, we all know what you identify with. Plus, you kinda sorta dress, nigga, you been a fly bitch. And then he said that I was really chasing the feature. Niggas a gorilla cause he got some apes in his features. All my gorillas got stones, I had these apes come and meet you. I put these billies on a jet, you pick a place there, meet you, nigga. And talk about my jewels, that was a cheap shot. And these is all VVS, these ain't the cheap rocks. I don't know if you a rapper, I said treat you like a street op. I know the top 50 list, I was a I could imagine what you're going through. Shit, we just, I mean, you know. Shit, I ain't gonna lie.
Jimmy ain't playing. Jimmy ain't out here playing. So Jimmy did that in like 2 days. He ain't wait. And I remember watching the Joe Budden podcast. Shout out to the Joe Budden podcast. I'm a huge fan of that. Joe Budden podcast, he calls in and says, yo, I'm in the studio. Well, not even. He let Joe know with a message from Flip that he was in the studio. Had called Joe the night before, tried to let him know, like, yo, I heard y'all talking about it. Oh, I heard your boy dissed me. Oh, okay. I heard you doubted me. Heard you doubt me a little bit. It's all right. It's cool. It's cool. Got you. I got you. But I love it. I love it. I love the fact that Jim is very competitive. And I love the fact that he even entertained the fact that Joe knows he's competitive and he knows Joe loves competition. And if we keeping it rap, the amazing rapper that Joe is, I know he appreciates, which as much as I appreciate, the fact that this is going to be a very entertaining battle. I don't think, and we're all praying and hoping, of course, it don't go to the streets. Of course, some things were mentioned, you know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. At the same time, these are two guys that are very respected in the street that can go at each other. And I love it. If we keep it lyrical and we keep it fun, this is going to be a very entertaining battle. I can't wait to see where this heads. We all know how Pusha is. You heard that line. You know I know where you're delicate. So this obviously was a warning shot. This isn't the main kapapa. This is the pew. I'm just letting this bitch off in the air. You started with me. I'm going to let one off in the air just to let you know I have it here. You say something again, I'm going to aim it. That's what that sounded like to me when Pusha said, you know I know where you're delicate. Jim went straight for the low. That crackhead brother of yours, he went straight for the gusto. He went like, listen, y'all don't want to keep playing with me. Like, I heard y'all ain't really sell no drugs. I heard y'all ain't do a lot of things. Y'all keep talking to me about the streets. Y'all ain't really from that or that cloth. It's a lot of shots being thrown back and forth that lines can be crossed and lines can be blurred. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. Very interesting to see where this goes. Because we don't want to see no fight happen. We don't want to see no blows being thrown. We don't want to see nobody getting slapped. Speaking of being slapped.
Who did?
Akaka! Back the fuck up. Akaka! Back the fuck up. Miss Brittany. Back the fuck up. Now, that is a lesson to be learned here. There's a lesson to be learned here. Number one, you do not run up on an NBA star knowing and seeing he has some big ass security. That's about as tall as he is. And that nigga 7'3" and a half. They said he was 7'2". He's 7'3" and a half. And the security on his shoulder. So that should tell you the size of his security. Okay? You should have known better than to run your little ass up there with a London accent. This is another thing they explained. So apparently she was trying to just get an autograph or whatever and just say hello in her regards. Britney Spears. Okay, let me introduce this a little better. Apparently, Britney Spears tried to get an autograph and say hello to Victor Wembanyama. If you don't know who Victor Wembanyama is, Victor Wembanyama is a 7'3.5" gentleman that plays now for the San Antonio Spurs and was one of the highly talked about draft picks for the NBA recently. So he has some very big gentlemen of security around him 24/7 when he goes out. Britney Spears, unfortunately, came to find that out because she apparently, as you saw in the footage, was trying to get, like I said, an autograph from the gentleman, but was using a London accent. Hello, hello. Hey, can you turn around? Hello, hello. You hear me? Oh my God. Oh, you hit me. Oh, you hit me. So the security turns around and says, oh shit, I smacked the fuck out of Britney Spears. Oops. I didn't mean to slap you, Britney. But you ran up on my client. You ran up on my client. I didn't mean to slap you. I'm so sorry. They were in a restaurant. They still haven't disclosed what restaurant it was, of course. Probably a high price spot. Where they were at. But that's neither here nor there. Later on in the restaurant, God bless, the security apologized to Britney Spears and let her know that it was a mistake. You have to understand, fans and paparazzi try to run up on Victor all the time, or our clients all the time, and we are paid to protect them as necessary. I didn't mean to smack you. And as you saw in the video, he didn't really smack her. He didn't like turn around and open hand palm smack the bitch. Like, he ain't open hand palm smack her like how Chris Rock got smacked by Will Smith. And he ain't get that. She ain't get that. It was a goodbye. That was a bitch, get back. That's what it was. A bitch, get back. But as you saw, he didn't turn around to see who he hit. He didn't realize who he hit at first. He just swung. All he felt was someone grabbing, and it's all I should say, all he saw and felt was someone grabbing his client. And that was another thing. As you saw in the video, you can tell a little bit that she tried to grab him. In fact, let's look at it again. You can tell a little bit that she tried to grab him. Let's look at it a little bit. So that was what another thing that was said, right? Another thing was said was that she grabbed him from behind. She reached out and touched him. That means she tried to reach out and touch someone. She reached out and touched someone, and the security reached out and touched her back. But yeah. So, play stupid games, get stupid prizes. You don't run up on no known NBA celebrity, even if you are a celebrity yourself. There's a way of doing things. You could have easily caught up to him or yelled, "Hey, Mr. Wembanyama, Mr. Wembanyama. It's me, Britney Spears," maybe. Or, because nobody's really looking for Britney Spears at the moment. I'm being real at the moment right now. You could have even said, "Mr. Wembanyama." You could have yelled the gentleman's name out. Maybe he would have turned around to see or recognize, if you weren't using a London accent, he would have possibly turned around and said, oh shit, it's Britney Spears. And you probably wouldn't have got the reaction that you got had you went about that cordially in a celebrity fashion. You are a celebrity yourself. You know, you're going into the same restaurant with this gentleman. You could have easily just said, hey, oh, that's the new guy that's I'm a fan of. While I'm waiting for my meal, maybe I'll go say hi. What was wrong with you doing that, Brittany? What made you run up on this man with a London accent and tapping him on his shoulder like a groupie? You are supposedly a married woman yourself. Are you not? You are a married woman yourself and you running up behind people tapping them on the shoulder. 3.5 foot jumping at that. With security that is about 6'11", 7 foot themselves. You are trying to get their attention with a London accent instead of your own. I wish I had a congratulations you played yourself button, but I don't. But that is in fact what you did. Congratulations you played yourself. Because you should have known better than to run up on Victor Wembanyama and try to tap him on his high-ass shoulders and not expect his security to say something. Unfortunately, they said nothing at the moment. But they hand the 5 fingers what they say to the face. Rest my case. Speaking of when security goes wrong, right? Someone else found out what happens when security goes wrong.
He tripped me. He slapped him in the stomach. He slapped him. No, it was hard. It was hard. It was on the line. It was, we got love for him. Hey, man, no.
That's fucked up. He just wanted to do that. That's deeper than this. He was just hollering at you, bro.
Don't punch me in my stomach.
He just was him, man. He's strong, just like you.
Put your hands on me. None of that. I'm a man. Don't touch
Nah,
me.
he just hollering at you.
I don't know him.
That shit deeper than this.
I don't know him.
Talk about it.
I don't know him.
Yeah, he don't know you neither.
Don't come touch me then. No.
No.
Hey, look. It's good. It's good.
It ain't good. No. Bro, babe.
Hey, how to handle your drug. That's what you need to tell him. Yeah, exactly.
But it wasn't even that serious.
Come over here.
I was right here.
Bro, he put his hands on it, bro. He should have put his hands on it, bro.
Punched him in the stomach. I can't tell my nigga to say that. He was standing, he came in, we was out the way. He was hooping and hollering, and then he came over and he just started, dude, that was a shot. And
No, that wasn't no. Hey, he went. Come on, bro. Yeah. It was harder than that. No, I know. Drunk, bro. Come on, bro. He don't know so much. That's what he went over there, leaving. Then he came back and we just yelling at us. We all respectful. Come on, bro.
So that was via TMZ footage of Young Buck from the G Unit getting into it with Afro Man. I get high, I get high, I get high. Security. Apparently, Young Buck was very drunk and high at the time and decided to go to Afro Man's show. Now, Afro Man was delayed to go on because Young Buck was sitting on the stage with his girlfriend. Literally. He was sitting on the stage with his girlfriend, drunk and high and belligerent, allegedly. And what you saw there was the aftermath footage of what the gentleman in the video was talking about. Hey, you slapped me in my gut. For what reason? Oh, he just a man. That's just how he show his love. That's just how he talk. That's how he agree. I've heard, if I had a penny for every time I heard how a nigga do that, it's a time and a place when you can do that. And majority of the time, that type of behavior of a nigga aggressively smacking you, yo, what's up, youngin'? A majority of the time when a nigga is doing that over aggressively, he either A, has a problem with you subliminally, or subconsciously, excuse me. He has a problem with you subconsciously, or B, he is drunk. And just like she said, he was drunk, and that's how he shows his love. I think that is exactly what happened there. I don't think Young Buck had an actual problem with the young gentleman. One of Afro Man's artists, that's what it was. Afro Man's artist was backstage, and Young Buck had found his way back there trying to talk to Afro Man. He then met Afro Man's artist and was trying to talk to him in a positive way, saying he fucks with him. And of course, like I said, I've been there in those situations. Drunk nigga from the hood, one of your uncles, some shit like that. They over aggressively tapping you and yo, I love you, and they hitting you and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But they don't really mean no motherfucking harm. And sometimes I've seen in situations where that can actually go left, where they're being overly aggressive to someone showing their love, and that person take it the wrong way right in front of them. And they say, oh, you don't fuck with me like that? Oh, you don't fuck with me like that? Boom! And then the wrong thing happens. I've seen that happen so many times in the hood. So I can already picture what happened here with Young Buck and Afro Man's security. Easily, once they saw him doing that, being a little bit over aggressive, you saw bit bat boom bop bam happen with the security. And then you hear the young lady in the background yelling, oh, he didn't mean that. He's just showing love. Know what I'm saying? It's deeper than that. Know what I'm saying? He fuck with you, young blood. You heard the girlfriend saying that. And Afro Man at the end was like, nah, man, it's a difference. Learn to control your drugs. Learn to control your highs and habits. Now, the crazy thing is, you got to understand this too, right? Young Buck has been in the media recently for not only the transgender, he was in the media for the drugs. He's been in media for going to jail over the drugs. So it's been heavily known. He's even rapped about it, that he fucks with the dog food. Talking about heroin. It's been known that Buck, unfortunately, God bless that brother, has had an unfortunate trial and tribulation over the past years with drugs and alcohol. Thus, why he had his issues financially with music. Not even gonna say G-Unit, music in general in the industry and entertainment. Buck has not been the most successful because of his own habits, because of his self. Unfortunately, this was one of those nights where those things got the best of him, and they shouldn't have. That's what I'm saying. God bless to that brother. I sincerely hope that he gets some type of help after seeing himself going through fighting security for a situation that didn't have to happen. He didn't have to go backstage and do that. He didn't have to sit on the stage and delay Afro Man from coming out because he was a little bit over intoxicated. Those things should not have happened that night. Everything can be avoided. Sometimes it's okay not to touch someone at that. Learn to keep, that's the moral of this podcast today. Keep your motherfucking hands to yourself. Keep your hand to yourself and respect people. Learn to respect people. Purpose of life is love, y'all. If y'all ain't know by now. I mean, it's nothing more that we can say because we didn't said it all, man. I don't like that. I put Chill Murry in, and there's an imposter. An imposter Chill Murry, I mean. I don't like that. But anyway, download my new single. Go stream. Go listen to my new single,
first day.
Bucket Hat Low, that we played in the beginning of the podcast. Download and stream that. I'm going to get the fuck up out of here. Y'all already know what time it is. Live from the Spot podcast.
Yeah.
It's been fun, y'all.
Yeah. My type of women like to cuddle, but don't sleep on the money. My type of women like to talk, but don't talk to no dummy. A good play, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. A good play, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. A type of dudes don't be calling, trying to blow up a phone. A type of dudes get money, but don't leave her alone. She just need food.
I tried to do my damn amp show
That's a damn good
Saturday.
day. She just
Ain't nobody show up.
Peace and pay.
I'll do the next one.
Don't be mad at it.
You motherfuckers better show up.
That's just what I prefer.
That's all I gotta say.
Don't be mad at it.
I love y'all.
That's just what I prefer.
But I'm trying to work out.
Don't be mad at it. That's just what we prefer. Don't be mad
That's right.
at it. That's just what we
Love y'all.
prefer. I need a woman that can cook and clean. She need a good man that fucking mean. I kick it paying all bills. Yeah, I foot the fee. Yeah, I know she bad and bougie, but she good to me. We talking king shit, I love to show her royalty. I need a queen, quick to always show her loyalty. And when even a nigga off, she be on with me. She DEF the fuck boy, she supported G. That's how it always be. Yeah, it's a baddie, it's a baddie. Make it clap, make it clap. Love it, making money, keep it cunning, hate but complaining, haters do nothing. Type of women like to cuddle, but don't sleep on the money. My type of women like to talk, but don't talk to no dummy. A good play, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. A good play, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. A type of dudes don't be calling, trying to blow up a phone. A type of dudes get money, but don't leave her alone. She just need food, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. She just need food, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. She said, don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it.
They just said when Vinyana got dunked on.
Don't be mad at it.
I'm out, y'all.
That's just what we prefer.